Previously in the Goth Condo, Dina Caliente proposed to Mortimer Goth, and later that night, they got married. Things were going well for Dina, until Mortimer's long-lost wife Bella suddenly returned to Pleasantview, rekindling Mortimer's prior feelings for her. Desperate, Dina went on a date with Don Lothario and got pregnant with his child. Due to the woohoo they'd had on their wedding night, Dina was able to fool Mortimer into believing the baby was his, and as a result, they reconciled. She was also able to become best friends with Alexander after he aged into a teenager, further securing her place in the family. Soon the time came for Dina to give birth, and out came a little girl she named Agatha, who unexpectedly inherited the green of her grandfather's alien abductor, Pollination Technician 7. Mortimer immediately fell head over heels for Agatha. She was, after all, his daughter, right? But how long will Dina be able to keep his questions at a minimum? And will she even need to? Hey all, and welcome back to Season 2 of my Let's Play Pleasantview series. Today, in episode 17, we are going to be returning to the Goth Condo for the final time this round. The last we saw, Dina had just given birth to little baby Agatha, and both Mortimer and Alexander had just finished up cheering them on. But today, we are going to see if Dina can hold everything together long enough to snatch up that inheritance, or if it all blows away along with her cover. We are also going to see whether or not Mortimer will live long enough to see Agatha age into a toddler, and whether or not Alexander is able to handle all the new complexities of teenage life. There's a lot to witness, so let's get in there and start playing. We are back in the condo where we last left the Goths, right after Dina gave birth to her beautiful baby girl, Agatha. Let's go ahead in and see how everyone's handling the newest addition to the family. Luckily for Alexander, it's Friday, his final school day for the week, and he has an excuse to remove himself from any unpleasant scream-emitting and diaper wetting that might take place today. But Dina and Mortimer aren't so lucky. No issue for Dina, though. Right into the crib little baby Agatha goes. At least Agatha seems just about as exhausted as Dina already is, and slips right off into sleep. After all those long, laborious hours, Dina really needs to set aside some time for herself. Surprising, right?
No way!
And heads right on up for a nice, warm bubble bath. Her favorite after a day of doing absolutely nothing. But it isn't long before she's distracted from her time of much-needed relaxation. The unmitigated, horrifying sound of a baby crying. Well, Dina is much too busy to change Agatha's fly-addled diaper. Thank God for Mortimer, who doesn't seem to mind one bit. Dina heads right on past without even a second glance. But the joke's on her now. Since Mort's busy taking care of Agatha, Dina's going to have to get her hands dirty and whip up her own dish today. A tasty sandwich. It'll have to do for now. After she grudgingly cleans up her dish, she heads off to the living room to plan it in her favorite location, the sofa in front of the TV. It's then we receive a message. It's been a so-so week. I want to make this week better. I guess the firstborn child didn't quite do it for Dina. "1 o'clock and Alexander returns home. Homework right on the floor, and up to care for his dropped needs. Bathroom and bath, with Mortimer creeping creepily around outside. It's then that we get an unfortunate message in regards to Mortimer's ailing health. Mortimer's cold has become much worse, and now he has pneumonia. He will need plenty of rest in order to recover. If he gets enough sleep and doesn't spend too much time standing up, he'll be healthy in no time. Which means that we'll need to take extra care of Mort in the next coming days. Come on, Mort. Make it for Agatha.
What? Huh?
Alexander finishes up, leaving his father to go about his business while he heads back downstairs and gets right to his homework. Meanwhile, Dina and Mortimer decide to get some rest now while they still can. Mortimer because he needs to, and Dina because, well, because. By the time Alexander finishes up with his schoolwork, his fun levels have tanked, so he decides the Weather Channel should do just the trick.
Well, fascinating is a word I use for the unexpected.
Right before sunset, Agatha decides that her parents have slept long enough, and chaos ensues.
Wake up, bitches!
Up they go, and this time, Dina can't get out of taking care of her baby.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
It's feeding time. Mortimer attempts to make his family a meal, but the attacks begin. Because his cold has advanced to pneumonia, his coughing fits come much faster and last much, much longer. Still, Mort is a stubborn old man, and he'll be damned if a measly little, extremely dangerous illness will stop him from cooking up a delicious Italian meal for his family. Maybe not, but it might stop him from actually eating it. Poor Mort, he's just hacking away while Dina stuffs her face and Alexander yells at him to get out of the way. He finally is able to snag a plate before his hunger takes a drastic nosedive, and eats all alone at the opposite end of the kitchen, while his wife and son talk casually from afar as though he didn't just nearly die from pneumonia right in front of them. Mortimer heads up to bed. We need to try to get him resting as much as we possibly can. After Dina finishes up dinner, she heads back up to take another bubble bath. You know, she's just so achy from making that single sandwich earlier today. Soon enough, both Alexander and Dina head in for the night. Another day, and Mort's still a-kickin', and Agatha's still yellin'. Sorry, Dina. Mortimer's sick, and that means it's gonna have to be you changing that dirty diaper. Again, the family bears witness to Mortimer coughing his shriveled lungs up, with Dina watching very, very, very closely, while doing absolutely nothing to make sure he's okay. I try to get him upstairs to use the facilities, but it isn't long before he goes into yet another coughing fit. Mortimer is really not doing so well. Finally, I'm able to get him into the bath, and after he scrubs all those germs off his body, he heads downstairs to watch some TV with the rest of his very worried family. And then it happens. Dina has to get off of the couch, head over to the fridge, and prepare cereal for everyone. Ugh, what has become of Dina Caliente? While Dina worries about the smoothness of her hands, Mortimer worries over his cereal. Cleanup time, and Dina is not impressed. In fact, she bitches as badly as Dawn does. Maybe that's why they get on so well. After this travesty, Dina decides she's had enough. She is the beautiful young wife of the wealthiest sim in town, and she simply cannot be bothered with these little necessary tasks. She picks up that phone and hires herself a butler. It's about time that Dina Caliente gets treated like the royalty she truly is. He heads over promptly, just as a classy butler should, and Dina introduces herself, happy to finally take all the pressure off of her shoulders and place it onto his. His name is Alan Davidson, and from here on out, he will be a permanent staple in Dina's very stressful life. He sets right to work by picking up that dirty diaper Dina had discarded on the nursery floor early that very same morning, and Dina knows that everything will be just fine from now on. Now Dina has all the time in the world to do what she truly is passionate about. Yes, Queen. Mortimer attempts to care for Agatha, but his pneumonia just won't allow for it. Thank the Watcher for Alan, who walks away in frustration. Mortimer manages to compose himself and heads out to the mailbox. When he gets a very disturbing thought bubble of a gravestone. His gravestone. I try to get him inside, but again, he thinks of his own death. That can't be a good sign.
Do you think so?
Mortimer heads upstairs and past a screaming baby Agatha. Alan's gonna have to take it from here because Mortimer is just too sick at this point. He needs to sleep now or forever hold his peace. Literally. Alan steps up to the plate and takes little Agatha up for a bath, which Dina doesn't seem to appreciate as much as you might think. Alan cleaning up her dirty child and interrupting her precious bubble bath time? Never. Finally, she manages to shush them out and soaks her non-existent sorrows away, thinking of Mortimer's simoleons the entire time. While Agatha sleeps peacefully in her crib, we get a message letting us know that her birthday is only 1 day away. Luck providing, we just might get Mortimer to witness it after all. Meanwhile, Dina and Alexander chow down on the sundaes Alan has graciously made for them before heading out for the night, and they talk late into the evening. Even though Dina is only after Mortimer's simoleons, she still seems to have taken a liking to Alexander. Keyword, seems. Soon enough, it's time for bed. Dina snuggles up next to Mortimer as they drift off to sleep, and soon, the whole household is at rest. But, unfortunately for Mortimer, this will prove his final rest. He struggles out of bed and falls choking to the ground, his rampant pneumonia finally getting the better of him. Death arrives to do his business and collect Mortimer's soul, but Dina couldn't be any less interested.
Okay, bye.
In fact, yeah, I think we all know how Dina feels right now, and it ain't sad.
Rabala tingo. Somata.
Goodbye, Mortimer. Rest easy, old-timer. Alexander wakes up and he immediately knows. He knows his father is dead. Distraught, Alexander shrugs himself into some clothes and takes to his laptop to talk to a friend about his father's death. Hopefully, she'll be able to cheer him up, even if it's only a little bit. Dina, however, bubble bath. She does need to ready herself after all. Not for Spooky Day, though. No, not this year. Dina has other plans for a party this year. She heads down to watch some television, apparently with very little regard to her eyesight, and Alexander soon joins her. He tries to talk to Dina while she selflessly hogs the television, but she's much too involved in her stories to care about his grief and anguish. Poor Alexander has gotten so stressed, in fact, that he's developed a serious case of acne, and he is not too happy about it. Or his dad's death. Or the lack of simoleons in his life. It just isn't fair. Dina ignores his teenage fit-throwing and instead does what any grieving widow does. Calls up a big celebratory party for her daughter Agatha's birthday. Of course.
Oh, I'm so pretty.
Soon the guests start piling once again into the Goth, now Caliente, condo. The stereo is on, the party is on, and apparently Don and Dina are on as well.
No stairway. Denied.
Party? What? Where? And of course she would try to get pregnant right away. Dina, I swear to you, I swear. Thankfully, Dina remains temporarily barren, and back down to the party they slink. Nobody suspects a thing, and the party is back on. Dina brings little baby Agatha down to her cake, and everyone starts gathering around to see her grow into a toddler. Poor Mortimer may not have made it, but I know he's watching from afar. Oh no! The poor little thing's missing her scalp. We're definitely gonna have to fix that. There we go. All better. And just look how cute she is. And look at all of this mess. Yeah, Dina isn't dealing with all of that. Why clean up tonight when Alan can just do it in the morning.
Where to loom?
It's now extremely late at night, and the household is tuckered out, as little Agatha demonstrates for us right now.
So fucking.
And this is where we leave the now returned Caliente Condo for the final time this round. Mortimer Goth sadly passed away from pneumonia the night before Agatha's birthday. Dina Goth managed to keep up appearances long enough to snag up all the inheritance. Or, at least, so she thinks. And Agatha Goth aged up into an adorable little toddler, which means a lot of hard times ahead for her mother Dina. Will she be able to mature enough to raise Agatha well? We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment for any questions or suggestions you might have, and subscribe to the channel if you want more juicy Sims 2 drama in your daily routine. Be sure to join me for episode 18, when we head on over to Dina's twin sister, Nina Caliente, who's just gotten pregnant by none other than Don Lothario. Now that she's out on her own, how will Nina be able to cope with a baby on the way and no job? Check back in soon to find out. Until next time, guys. Bye!